let's take a look at our top selections for
Three, two, one.
Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday is the $75,000 Ginger Brew Stakes. I think it's one of the better betting races on the Gulfstream Saturday card. Let's throw up the field. 3-year-old fillies traveling 1 mile on the turf. Honey Pants, the 3, is your 3-to-1 morning line favorite, coming off a big buyer effort in the Stewart Manor at Aqueduct, but this filly has to stretch out for the first time.
Yeah, there's some things to worry about with Honey Pants. I guess, why she's the morning line favorite then, because she does have the fig. But man, this is a wide open race.
Very wide open race. Interesting dynamic from a pace standpoint. We figure Honey Pants is going to be close to the pace, stretching out. Conlima, the 6, was a gate to wire winner earlier in the meet for Todd Pletcher. And I think Paco Lopez is going to try to get to the lead. I have a feeling that Honey Pants might be naturally faster. I'm just not sure Mr. Clement wants to use this horse's speed that early.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they decide to ride Honey Pants, because she is stretching out for the first time. She's got a pretty good foundation, though. 3 starts already behind her. She'll be up close. Whether she's on the lead or not remains to be seen.
The 3 and the 6 should be close, and no matter which one makes the lead, the 1 Oyster Box figures to be in close attendance, working out a nice ground-saving trip. This Tappet filly is a great pedigree, very well connected, and looked good in her debut. Let's watch that race at Belmont way back on October the 3rd. I didn't think she broke very well from the inside. Then she worked out a nice trip, saving ground in behind the lead. She's going to ease to the outside under Junior Alvarado, and she just swallows these horses up. A couple of these horses came back to win. Nice performance.
Yeah, she ran well in here. She got a very good trip in this race, but she also ran really well to win it. It's been 3 months now since we've seen her. I know that she was entered at least once, Dan, after this in a stakes race in New York. I want to say a race that came off the turf, though. So she didn't get to run that day. Listen, I don't really have anything bad to say about her. I liked her debut, good trip or not, and I know it was sprinting, but she is bred to stretch out.
Good price coming up on the 2, Viking Queen, despite the fact that she's a perfect 2 for 2 in her career. She won her debut at Gulfstream West for a scant $25,000 maiden tag, and then she won this race going a mile against starter optional claiming performers. Here's Viking Queen, the number 2 on the outside in the blue blinkers. She's just going to get up in the shadow of the wire. Only a 46 buyer. She's going to have to do a lot better.
Yeah, both of her races are too slow for her to be competitive in here, but she did win both of those starts, though, so she comes in here undefeated, and she'll be a huge price.
Here's the morning line favorite, the number 3, Honey Pants, coming out of the Stewart Manor Stakes. Let's watch that race right now at 3/4 of a mile. Now, she's going to get wired in this race, Mike. I thought all in all, she had a good trip. She saved ground in behind the lead most of the way. She comes out, she's got to look at this at about the 8th pole, and she's just going to fall a little bit shy. She did get the big figure for this race, but it was sprinting. Now she's got to go long, and the Stewart Manor hasn't come back that strong just yet.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The horse that wins this race is a maiden on the way in for Wesley Ward. I mean, I guess we'll just see what kind of price she goes off at the end, because based on her 2 turf starts, and she's run fine in them, I wouldn't want a short price on her. She got loose on a very slow pace when she broke her maiden going 6 furlongs. And then last time, I mean, that was a time when the rail was the place to be on the grass. She sat right in behind the winner on the lead. And to me, she never really made a race of it. And I know it came back fast. I want to see her do it again, stretching out.
Mark Casse does very well second time out, sprint to route. That's what happened with the 4 in the winner's circle last time out in the turf debut. Very well-bred daughter of Medaglia d'Oro. Let's watch her maiden win in the Juvenile Fillies Turf Stakes for Florida breds. And we see in the winner's circle on the outside swinging into the lane. And she's got some work to do, but she goes by these horses readily. I think this filly has some potential. I like the way she charges on home.
Yeah, she swooped right by this field in the stretch. I like this performance too, especially when you just watch the way that she was ridden early in the race stand. They just sort of dropped her to the rail, never really asked her to make a move to get into the race until they came to the stretch. And then once they set her down, she came with a big run in there. I liked that performance.
Caracazzi, the number 5, did some nice things in her debut for Armando de la Cerda, who knows how to get these horses ready to go in these turf races. We saw him do it with Cheermeister, I think, last year on this road, the early road on 3-year-old turf fillies at Gulfstream. Karakatsi was in between horses in the early part of her debut, and as we turn into the stretch, Joe Bravo is going to swing her to the outside, and she's a little bit green, but she goes by readily enough, and this runner-up came right back to flatter the performance somewhat by graduating at Tampa with a 75. She did some nice things in here.
Yeah, she really did. And just ultimately, to me anyway, just looked like a horse who maybe even needed the start then. As you mentioned, she was very green in this race and in a lot of traffic also on the backstretch. But once she came clear, nice run through the lane there, very game to turn away that horse who came back to win her next start. This really did a lot of good things in her debut, and she's got a nice pedigree.
Conlima, the number 6, made her turf debut last time out at Gulfstream for Todd Pletcher. And let's watch that race. She was favored. She went right to the front. She controlled the pace throughout. And she's just too much for this field in the stretch. Rock solid performance for a rock solid filly that's never been out of the exacta from 5 lifetime starts. If she gets away with easy fractions, she might be long gone.
Yeah, she took a big step forward. Her dirt form was fine, but it felt like she took a big step forward in her turf debut. It's a surface that Pletcher was trying to get her on. He finally got her on it, and she took a big step forward last time, soft trip or not.
A filly that's sure to attract some attention is the beautifully bred number 7, Designer Ready, who defeated 3 next out winners in her one and only start at Woodbine back on October the 3rd. Let's watch that race right now. Now, she came from way out of it. She was last early. This pace was very fast, and it helps her out. But once she gets into the clear, she is really going to be moving late.
Yeah, a really good finish in this race. But as you have already alluded to, this race set up really well for her running style. They went a very fast pace in this race. You can see her getting clear there in the very late stages, and she'll just run by some tired leaders in this race. I'm not knocking her. She has a nice pedigree. She ran well in here, but boy, did she take advantage a little bit.
Runner-up came back to win with a 68 Beyer speed figure. I have a feeling I made a mistake in not rating the 8 I Get It higher in my picks, because ever since Ron Spatz took the blinkers off, this filly is a perfect 3 for 3, and I just really liked the way she won last time out. Let's watch that optional claiming performance at Gulfstream West. Not a lot of pace, last and widest on the turn, so wide that she's not even on the screen, but just watch the way she kicks this field down. Maybe not the greatest field in the world, but she just charges right on by him. I love the way she finished.
Yeah, she ran well in this race. Then you just mentioned this is 3 wins in a row for her now. She just steamrolls this field late. I think this is a pretty significant step up in class, Dan. She's facing some shippers in this race who look like they could be pretty good, but I think that just means that this filly will be a better price.
That's right. Sweet Pearl, never off the board from 3 lifetime starts. Let's watch her last race against the males. Starter optional claiming competition. Showed good tactical speed in this race. She's going to get to the outside, and she's going to keep trying all the way down to the line. She's only going to be beaten a nose by honorable. Solid effort. She probably has to do a little bit better as she steps up in class.
Yeah, I think she's going to have to do better as well. 2 starts back, she was in that I Get It race that we just watched and was really no match for that filly. So she's going to have to take a big step forward here.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Ginger Brew Stakes. Mike, you're going with Karakatsi, who should be a good price yet again, and I really think she'll move forward for De La Cerda off a bullet workout on December 26th.
I mean, that was really my thinking, Dan. This is such a wide open race. I think a lot of different horses can win here. And I just don't want a short price on anybody. This horse feels to me like she could be a fair price once again in here. And I liked her debut.
I picked Honey Pants. I want to use a lot of Oyster Box. I think she showed enough in her debut that makes me think she's going to be a stakes horse. I'm going to concentrate on those 2. 3167 for me, 5417 for Mike. It's the $75,000 Ginger Brew. Race 9 at Gulfstream on Saturday has an approximate post of 4:13 Eastern. Good luck.